I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Oops the Podcast. We are so excited today to welcome our dear friend and fellow comedian, Kerryn Feehan. She is amazing. You might have seen her on My Big Fat Fabulous Life on TLC. Kerryn, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh man, this is great. Giulio, you know Kerryn.
Yeah, Karen's my girl.
Yeah.
She's a rider,
Yeah.
you know?
What does that mean?
She's just reliable.
Oh,
Yes.
She's a reliable, good kid.
I thought maybe it was like she only insists on being on top.
That is
That's
often
possible.
the case.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I find it easier to orgasm that way.
Nice.
I don't
feel
have a
like
lot of
that's the
time.
norm,
Yeah.
right? I convinced myself that it was the shape of my member that enabled that position to be my most successful one, but I think it's just like the nature of female orgasms, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's that.
And it's also like you can really steer the ship, you know what I mean? If you're in that situation, you know, I just grab hold of a neck and I really could be any neck.
That a girl. Well, regardless.
But it's my boyfriend's and I love him so much.
She does. She's obsessed with her boyfriend.
That's
Yep.
good.
It's cute.
Thanks. It's our 6-month anniversary.
Congratulations.
I know. What do you think he got me?
A vibrator?
Nothing.
I would think
People
that-
don't expect gifts for
6
real,
months,
do they?
6 months anniversary is nothing.
That's
though.
not a thing, and
No.
I shouldn't expect a gift.
100%.
I wouldn't
But I
think so.
have hinted at one.
That you want.
Yes.
Can you tell us what
No,
it is?
no, just any gift. I'll take anything. Gifts are my love language. You could like get me like a Post-it. You could get me like a pen with like a flower on it. Like I'd be like, this is I love it so much. Thank you.
That's
Oh,
cute.
good.
Yep.
All right. Well, very good.
Thank you.
So you look great. You look radiant.
Really?
Your hair looks fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Is
You look
there any-
fit.
Oh, I work. You know, I freaking stay in Equinox.
Yeah, she's been
all
working
day,
out
every day.
hard. The results have shown.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there
Stuck with it.
is there any reason why your hair looks so good today?
Yes, I went to get a blowout, which was one of 2 mistakes I've made already today.
Tell us about them.
Listen, I don't want to say which dry bar I went to because I go to a lot of different dry bars and I usually have an excellent experience. Like here's my thing. If I can blow dry my own hair. Like I'm like in my 30s, like I know how to do that. No problem. If I'm giving you $50 plus a tip to blow dry my hair, this is a $120 haircut. Do you know what I mean?
Oof.
Like this haircut is fresh and and it's easy to make it look good. So if I'm giving you $60 to do that and you not only don't do that, but you hurt me too, like my scalp, like pulling at my scalp. I'm like, my thing is I'll suffer if the blowout is banging. Like, you know, if there's a method to you pulling my hair, if you pulling my hair out makes you a better blowout stylist, it's fine. I'll get past it. But it's like you hurt me and then you did a shitty job and then I just sort of like spazzed out and I'm in this dry bar.
Oh. Well,
I didn't spaz, but I was very white.
what did you do? So walk us through that.
I just, you know, first of all, I was met with an attitude from the jump. Like, I was 15 minutes early for my appointment. I understand if you can't take me until the exact minute of that appointment, but guess what? At that exact minute, if I've been there for 15 minutes, I'm going to be up at the desk like, what the fuck? Where are we? And she, like, looks at the concierge, whatever you want, the front desk chick. It's 9:46 at this point, for the record. And she's like, oh, yeah, we're getting somebody right now. I'm like, oh, okay, customer.
Wow.
I'm not really feeling treated like
Yeah,
this.
those desk people at hair-related places have an attitude. I don't know why.
Like, what's your problem? Like, you're not making any money
You
an
just sit
hour?
there.
I didn't pick your fucking job. I don't give a shit.
Right.
I'm here because I have so little time that I do this once a week. Like, this isn't like, oh, I have nothing to do. I have my thumb up my ass. Like, I have a half an hour to do this. So just fucking do it.
Yeah.
So
Right.
white. I was very white this morning. But I just wasn't happy. And then again, like the actual shampoo was so violent. It felt like she was like playing puppet.
Hate that.
And then, yeah, she just did a shitty job. And I just let him know. I was like, listen, this is a great haircut. It shouldn't be hard to do. This is your profession. I understand blow drying hair isn't very prestigious. It's not my fault. But this is still your job that you decided to do. So
Did you say that?
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
do the best you
God.
can. I don't care. I was a waitress in New York City for 15 years. I don't fucking care. I was still a good waitress. I made bank. If you hustle and do a really good job at this, I'm probably going to break you off $15, $20 tip. If I'm happy, I've done it before. I still tipped her $10 and I was super unhappy.
So hold on a second.
Told you guys, she's a rider.
Do you think that that moment may have
Psycho.
contributed to the rest of the blowout going poorly?
No, that was the end of the blowout.
Oh,
I waited
that was the
to
end?
the end of the blowout. Yeah. And then the girl even told me, she's like, you're the one with the attitude. I was like, oh, we're gonna fight. Here's my thing though. Why I didn't want to say the neighborhood where it is, because I'm like I'm scared this girl's gonna come to my home. Like, I mean, I left. It didn't escalate to anything. I left and then I got on the phone with headquarters. Dry bar headquarters.
Whoa.
Like, I
Good for
took
you.
it to another level. I want my money back.
Well, it's nice of you to get
We'll
a
see.
blowout for us.
Yeah, I'm glad you.
We
I'm
appreciate
glad you
it.
came.
It's 100% for you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
man, that's crazy. I gotta tell you, Kerryn.
Who cares? I'm an idiot.
I have not ever really gone that way.
That white.
Yeah,
That complaint level of
Yeah.
this level of service just isn't where it
I
should
do it
be.
all the time.
Good for you, Giulio.
the only thing that was close was one time I was in an Uber with 3 of my friends and the driver fell asleep while we were on the highway.
You're like, we're dead.
And
I'm gonna yelp about
We
it.
started drifting into the breakdown lane.
Oh my
and I had to
God.
rip the wheel back to pull us back into 70-mile-per-hour traffic.
You had to?
Yeah. And then I said, were you just asleep? And he goes, yes. And I said, do you want me to drive the rest of the way? And he goes, I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
So we pulled into the breakdown lane and I drove our Uber the remaining 15 minutes
Was it
to where
nice?
we were
Was
going.
it an Altima? What kind
Yeah,
of?
it was a fucking Corolla or something.
Oh, okay.
We had 3 of my friends in the back. I was in the front seat.
He's
and
now
one
in the.
driver.
He's now
And he went and
co-pilot.
sat in the back.
Oh, he went in the back. Oh, okay.
Or maybe he sat in the front. I don't know.
Okay.
And then we got to the place we were going, and I said, "Dude, you need to sit in this parking lot and take a nap because you should not be driving
It'd
right
be
now."
funny if you were driving. He's like, "Let me pay for this," and he starts to jerk you off.
I wish, but that was the only time where then I wrote to Uber and I was like, you
Yeah,
know,
good
look,
for
we
you.
had a pretty scary experience.
It's like, you guys owe me $35 because I drove
Yeah.
this fare.
I work for Uber
Where's my money?
today, and where are my benefits?
Yeah,
Be like,
you're well.
welcome to the team, Francis.
Yeah, I think you're well within your rights to complain about if things are that bad. I don't think that lowering expectations progresses us. I think hiring them does.
Well, here's the question,
Right.
and this to me is the ultimate question, which is that do you believe that tips and gratuity are now a foregone conclusion, an expected, deserved right, or are they still meant to be some reflection of the performance of the person?
Great question. I think a lot of places or successful businesses, Sugarfish, for
Oh,
example,
yeah, no tips.
includes the tip in the entire purchase of your experience, and the service is impeccable. So I don't know. I think it's changing. I think before, yeah, it was reflective of, and I was a waitress for a really long time, and like you got screwed a bunch. Some tourists would like people from Spain.
fucking Germans.
Spaniards are the worst. Australians, I'm sorry, but like not everybody, but some tourists are just the worst. They would just,
Europeans are bad.
you end up paying to wait on them, essentially, because you're tipping out like barbacks and this and that. Like you're making no money. So I hope that it goes towards like what Sugarfish is doing, like just build it in, and then you go in expecting a level of service, and you won't continue to bring your business there if you don't receive that service.
I think that's really good, really smart.
Yeah.
And especially since, you know, the bill you get is what you pay, and not having to wonder if you're offending people or,
Sure.
you know, do the math.
Yeah.
I like doing the math,
Yeah.
but then there, you know, I tip 20% categorically.
You can tell even when you're not
Yeah.
paying, like, let me do the math, let me do the tip.
Yeah, I tip 20% categorically at restaurants, but there are
Yes.
times where I think,
Right.
and not often, but there have been times where I've thought this was such a bad experience,
Right.
that this person does not deserve the max tip.
Sure.
And then what?
Sure.
Are you really showing them by giving them 15%?
Right.
You're talking a
Right.
difference of a couple dollars.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. I see what you're saying though. It's like built in. Like some places, like they get paid off tips. That's how it works. or whatever,
Exactly.
And
So you
it's
have to
just
tip
like
something.
being a waitress. Again, I was a waitress forever. It's not that it's hard. It's anybody can do it. It's just sort of about anticipating people's needs.
Right.
And you can just do the bare minimum and I think earn a 20% tip. just be like not having people's food be cold or dirty or you know what I mean? Like it's not that hard.
Right.
You know, it's if you're in a super busy restaurant and you have to. I mean, I worked at Sushi Samba and there were 200 items on the
R.I.P.
end.
Sushi Samba.
So sad. Yellowtail sashimi, like the tiradditos and the taquitos.
So good. 7th Avenue South has really gone downhill.
Oh,
That's a separate
it's
topic.
gone.
It's terrible.
It's not there anymore.
No, I don't mean Sushi Samba. I mean the whole street.
The whole street. You're totally right.
It's just like filled with vagrants now. It used to be popping.
I know it really is.
What are you guys talking about?
7th Avenue South,
7th Ave
man.
South, man.
Wait, what is 7th Avenue South?
Like Christopher Street area,
Yep.
south and north of that.
On
Yeah.
7th Ave,
Yeah.
what used to be kind of the West Village of 7th Avenue.
Yeah, but you'd have that
Yeah.
great strip of like restaurants and
all those
good
Mexican
hangs.
restaurants.
Right.
Sushi Samba on the roof used to be so cool.
was sick, yeah.
Huh.
But anyway, the point is, it's not that it's like brain surgery doing this job. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing to earn stuff, perform.
Right.
You know Will Winter well, right?
Yes.
So Will Winter, a comedian, great guy. He used to work at Balthazar, and I invited him to come to Scandinavia with me once, just because he's like a great guy to travel with. And he was like, dude, I wish I could because I need to go to the source. I was like, what do you mean by that? He's like, Sweden, bro. He's like, you'll have the most magical experience waiting on these Swedes who look you in the eye and they thank you from the bottom of their heart and they tip you $0.
Yeah.
And I just don't get it. And I need to go there.
Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy.
And I guarantee you that waiters in Sweden are paid a livable wage, are paid
Right,
like
right.
Well,
money.
everyone's paid the
Totally.
same amount of money, regardless
Everybody
of
makes
what
money.
they do. Almost.
Right.
It's
Sweet.
it's
crazy.
crazy, but everything's paid for. I mean, their taxes are like 60%, but they don't have to pay
They
for
don't have to
anything.
think about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Healthcare, education, all that stuff's top notch.
I don't mind it.
I once, yeah. Well, now I'm curious about what you said,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't remember what it was that I was going to ask.
Sweden.
What were
You
you?
dope.
You said something before. Yeah, 7th Avenue South.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't remember. I don't know.
It's a
just
fucking shithole now, dude.
Right.
Yeah, no, it is it is trash.
Well, we want to ask you, of course,
Right.
about
What?
the theme of the podcast.
Mistakes.
Major mistakes.
Major mistakes.
Failures, fuck ups, anything that you look back on and you think, my God, at that moment, I wasn't sure if I would be able to get through it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, cut to the morning after I called Patrick Milligan a fat faggot to his face in
This is
a
the
blackout.
Booker of the Stand.
Yes, current Booker
I
of the
remember this.
stand.
This
Hey
was
Patrick,
great.
shout out cringe humor. And waking up that next morning and being tagged on Facebook in like statuses of like recounting that instance that I'm tagged in. So like that like pit of like rock bottom was like was like a turning point. But so yeah, that night was a mistake.
Do you know why you called him that?
I was in a blackout. Who knows? I mean, we were probably like, I probably thought I was being funny.
You had previously been sober too, right? And then you got back on the
Oh
wagon.
yeah, that was that I was sober when I was dating Keith of
Mm-hmm.
the Lucas Brothers for like probably a couple years, and then when we broke up, I had a gnarly relapse for like 6 months.
Into alcohol
Yeah.
and more?
Nah, I mean, if there's blow around, if I'm already drinking.
Right.
What am I?
Right.
What are we, children?
Yeah.
Come on. What are we talking about?
Back to boozing, kid.
So yeah, so that was, that led to, I got this tattoo which says "Don't serve me" after that on my arm.
It's a
Like
great
that was
tat.
just but mistakes are so important. You have to make mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, you fucking stink. Like you're boring, you're not evolved, like you're not doing anything. You have to change.
Right.
So what was the blowback from that?
Oh, it was so brutal. I mean, I just like metaphorically, it felt like every day I was like digging a pile of dirt off my like what am I looking casket? Like trying to like revive my fucking life.
And before, were you cool with the stand people?
I mean, yeah, but I wasn't passed or working or
Right.
you know what I mean?
Were you doing the roasts and stuff yet?
No, I don't think so. Maybe a little.
Okay. It
Maybe
was pre-roast battle, maybe.
But maybe pre-roast battle, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like
So-
just like fuck it up before I even get a chance to fuck it up with my, talent.
There were comics involved in this as well that were shitting on you, I remember.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right?
Oh, it was probably fun to shit on me.
No, but like after that happened, after she called Patrick a said fat blank,
I can say it because I'm gay.
and you also said it, and we're recounting.
Sure.
It's like a rap song.
Well, now, yeah, I mean, I think if you're recounting the context,
Right.
it's fine to say.
Well, I mean, I think that's the severity of the mistake is really in that word. You know what I mean?
Is-
Like,
Yeah,
doing
I mean,
it in a blackout in like a shitty way. You know what I mean? Like not being funny, just throwing that word around, kind of shitty.
right.
I think it is a mistake.
So when you said that on Facebook the next day, everyone was chiming in.
It felt like
What
that.
did you say on Facebook?
I didn't say anything. I woke up to like multiple
shitting on you.
notifications of Kerryn was wasted at the stand last night. Did this, did this.
Did you remember doing it?
No.
Oh God.
And I had lost my phone. So
Oh,
this was like
no.
hours later when I had passed out at Micah Fox's house that night. Had to go meet a cab to get my phone. Then went back to my apartment, and it was just like, you know what I mean?
And was it all the stand staff?
It wasn't the stand staff. It was just it was Patrick, like, and rightfully so. Like had tagged me, and like a few other comics like jumped in.
Interesting.
It's just like when you like fuck up before you even really get a chance to like start.
Right.
It's
right.
and it's 100% because you drank. You know you're an alcoholic
Right.
and you drank too much.
Mm.
So it's like it's just such a self-defeating sabotage style mistake.
Right.
Why did you call him what you called him?
I don't know. I think he was talking about his cat too much, like Star Wars.
And you're like, ha ha ha, you're a. And he's like, what?
He's like, what?
But
Who
good night,
are
Kerryn.
you? Who are you?
But now you
Right.
are one of the most common faces
What?
that I
That-
see working that
So you're
wonderful
calling
club.
me common.
No, I'm
I think
saying
I'm special.
I should have said frequent. You're one of the most people that I see most
I
frequently
love
there.
the Stand. The Stand's the best club in the city.
So you've clearly mended fences and even gone beyond that and are utilized by them so often. How did you get back into their good graces?
I think it was a lot of roast battles, winning and losing. Just sort of, I always was drawn to a lot of the Stand comics as well. So just sort of like staying in touch, wanting to work with them, like whatever it may be, doing their podcast, featuring for them. I just was always a big fan of the roster that the Stand sort of boasts.
Were you banned?
Yeah, but I would like find other ways to like, work with like those you know what I mean?
You
Like,
produce shows.
yeah,
And
just
be
like,
around. And how did you squash it with Patrick?
I'm not like a phony type person, and I'm not like a big like gonna put my tail so far between but I did in a sense just sort of like put my tail between my legs and just worked. And I was like just worked on getting funnier. And that's it.
You never were like, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm a
I think I
jerk.
apologized. I think I sent him a message like, listen, sorry, it's a
have a
blackout.
problem.
I think I said sorry to like to his face, like not super long after, like sorry, but it's just like it's I think it's a privilege and a reward to like work a club like that. I think
Totally.
it's like you should really take it seriously and respect it. And so yeah, it took a minute and it took work.
Wow.
There is so much power in apology. And we work in a business where, for whatever reason, comedians are so against apologizing. Because for whatever reason, it seems as if it's an admission of fault. And everyone's so hot-headed and
Or it
stubborn.
sacrifices some
right?
sort of freedom of speech or something.
Do you know how many, helpful it has been in my life that I am happy to apologize?
Yeah.
That I like apologizing.
Yeah.
I'm very good at it.
Yeah.
And that I don't see it as some loss of pride or, I don't know, like I'm losing myself as a man by apologizing.
No, I think it shows a level of intelligence. Hi, I'm identifying this thing that I did, that I'm recognizing that you're saying hurt you. Whether I intended to or not, like I'm listening to your feelings and saying I hurt you, so I'm willing to say, hey, that was a moment. I'm sorry for, whatever.
What do you think
know.
about apologies?
I also have no problem with them. I mean, granted, if like for some reason I think I'm really right about something, might be less likely to.
Julia will
Yeah.
fight you. He'll punch you in the face.
I agree.
No, but
I've seen him punch Benny D in the face like 100 times.
she's making that up, but that's funny. But I'm fine with apologizing too, man. You know what I mean? Especially if you fuck something up or you do something wrong and it's obvious you did or whatever. You have to. And plus, if everyone's saying you did something wrong, it's worth assessing whether or not that is true. Even if you feel like you're right, if you're like, well, everybody thinks I'm wrong, should I examine this again?
Right.
And think about it with an open mind? Because you never know. you might have a new way to think about it.
There are very few instances in my life where something has happened where I wasn't able to see both sides and at least acknowledge that I had some hand in why the problem occurred.
Right.
And even if I'm 10% culpable and the other party is 90%, I'm happy to apologize for my 10% of issue.
Yeah. And I think you look better. You come out like classier and smarter than holding on to some like.
Right.
And it's productive.
I hate when people don't like me.
I know, we can tell. That's why you apologize so much.
I hate it so much. Hey, if that's what it takes.
We say we're sorry.
Fuck it. Move on. But don't then be a total dick if I apologize to you and be like, well, I'm glad you've learned your lesson.
Oh yeah, don't fucking smear it in my face, you fucking goof.
And then, because then I'll be like, you know what? I didn't mean it. I take it back.
Take
It's
it
your
back.
fault. Fuck you.
Bow, bow, bow.
And then
My
we're going
friend
to
Giulio is gonna
apologize for
kick your ass.
that. And it's like, it all starts over. It's annoying.
No, it's about being an adult. It's fine to be a grown up and being like, and if you're able to apologize, don't you want the same from other people too? Like, I have expectations of other people to like know when they're wrong too.
Right.
I feel like you earn that more when you're more forthcoming and you're more vulnerable and like, listen, nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Bruh.
I agree.
True.
I
I'm
agree.
not. I pee with the door open. That's so weird.
Karen, how long were you like deeply depressed for after that happened?
Probably like a month.
And did you like think my career's over?
Yeah, it's like I sort of just grounded myself. Like, and I've had to do this a few times in my life where I just sort of, you have to just get rid of every other thing, you know, like, and just focus on go to work, walk your dog, go home, go to bed. And then slowly the next week you have more money because you're not spending it all on alcohol. And it's like, go to the gym, go to work, buy new shoes, go back home. So it just sort of like I slowly like, you dig yourself out of it. The shoes took a minute.
Sorry.
Okay.
Is that like some kind of conventional move on from addiction thing?
No,
that you're
I mean,
describing, because it's sounds like a good method.
that's just what I've always had to do with myself. And I think it has good and bad stuff. I do sort of like shut everybody out for like a week. And that can, I think, be shitty and hard to do to people who have been there for me. Like when I do relapse, and sometimes they probably want to hear from me and like want to hear me say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do this again. I'm working on it. But sometimes I need a week to just sort of like show people like I already have 7 days. Like I haven't had a drink in 7 days. I'm coming to you with that. Like I've already started. Do you know what I mean? It's like
How long have you been sober as of today?
this time it'll be 2 years on May 10th. So I forget.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So that's not till May, but
Great.
it's like, like a year and I don't know, 6 months. I know, a year and a half. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, because that is a very substantial amount of time
Thank
to
you.
not touch alcohol.
Yeah.
Is there any part of you that ever thinks someday you will reestablish a healthy relationship with alcohol?
I mean, I've done that multiple times already with my brain. That's the sickness of being an alcoholic, is that I do have that voice in my head that I don't think I've ever really gone longer than 2 years. I've done 2 years. And then I think slowly after 2 years was like when I started relapsing that other time. So there's something that just does happen in my brain that goes, oh, listen, if you spend like $18 on a glass of Sauvignon Blanc, that's all you're going to need. You don't need to go get wasted and get blacked out. You just tie on a tiny little buzz and then you have some food and you go to bed. And it's just like the second it hits me, it's like the dip in Roger Rabbit, you know, when they like put the animated people in the steel drum with like the dip. Look it up. It's a scene. They like the second it touches them,
Right.
it's like psst.
All of a sudden, 5 hours later, you're eating a strange man's ass.
Yeah.
How did this
A lot of people
happen?
describe Giulio as strange.
Yeah.
Boom.
Nice.
Nailed
You
it.
guys did butt stuff together. Wow.
That's very funny.
No,
New.
so yeah. So I mean, I wish. That's like I'm so jealous of people that can't have a healthy relationship with alcohol. And it affects my life all the time. Cuz my boyfriend drinks. He doesn't have a problem with alcohol, but like there's like a jealousy that comes with that. Like I can't just go have a few drinks, you know? I can go and hang out with his friends, but like
Right.
Does he respect your
yes.
need for abstinence?
Yeah.
So he never says, I'm having a drink. Yeah.
No.
That's good.
But you're able to be around him when he's having a drink
Yeah.
and without needing it.
Yeah.
But does it make it harder?
I'm not. I mean, the truth is, I'm working almost every night, so like I'm not around him out like drinking with his friends, and it shouldn't irritate me that it's just like he's just out just while I'm like doing shows or whatever. But sometimes it does, but it shouldn't.
When
my
you
hang-up.
are drinking, when you're on the wagon,
When I'm drinking, yeah,
when you're drinking,
Yeah.
how many nights a week are you drinking?
every day,
Every single
Forget
night.
nights. Waking up doing tequila shots before I go to work.
Really?
Yes.
That's
Little
crazy.
airplane bottles of booze in my purse all the time.
How does your brain convince you that that's normal?
I just start functioning on a certain level of alcohol at all times. Like I just start having a buzz all the time, and then I kick it up at night, and then I'll probably run it to the ground. I'll do that. I can do that for like 3-4 days, and then I'll either get sick or just you know what I mean. Like I'll get
you
so
have to
sick
stop.
that I have to.
And
Stop.
so you can't exercise during that period of time.
No, but I was trying to this last relapse, and it's tough, man.
When was your last? When was your last relapse?
So 1.5 years ago.
Oh, right. Okay.
For how
okay,
long?
Okay.
Long. That was a long one.
How long?
I want to say like almost, like probably like 8 or 9 months.
And what'd you do? What bad shit
A bunch
did
of
you do?
fat comics. Cut this out. Get in, everybody. She's back.
Get it while it's hot, baby.
Yeah, I made a lot of poor decisions. You don't really have to cut that out. I made a lot of poor decisions, but a lot of fun decisions too. No offense to everybody that I slept with during my relapse. But yeah, I did a lot. I mean, I maintained my job somehow.
Yeah.
You know,
And you were taking shots in the morning regularly.
sometimes, yeah.
Okay. And then, but the banging of the guys isn't necessarily a mistake. I mean, you look back on it, you're like, yeah, maybe I wouldn't have banged that guy, but like, you know,
Yeah, I can take one for the team here and there.
and nothing on the scale of you are, insulting people for no reason.
This
and not
past
remembering it.
relapse, no, but it just was it just got to a point. It was affecting one friendship a lot, and like a very important friendship to me. So that was also like enough to like pump the brakes on it too.
Cool.
There's a bunch of different components, but because I'm drinking with this tattoo. I'm like going like during like I had this during my last relapse. So I'm like at bars like.
Has that helped you though? That tattoo?
Oh yeah,
Do you look at it?
I wake up every morning. You see it. It's just like in this spot that like I sleep like that. So every morning it's like, oh right.
You hold it up for the camera.
Yeah. Oh.
That's fascinating.
There it is, baby.
Don't serve me.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, addiction is obviously a major sort of theme that we see accompanies a lot of the oops that we've talked
Really?
about.
That's interesting.
Yeah, we had Wendy Starling on,
Mhm.
and she talked about it
Yeah.
a little bit. But, we were talking, Giulio and I were talking about weed before the episode started, and I know you partake.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I owe you some.
No, he had
Because
like
you-
a tiny bit from like my one.
You
hitter.
fed me weed the other
He
night.
said, just apologize and we'll get past it.
I felt bad. I did feel really bad, but I was smoking with Benny.
Nice.
And-
There's never need free. Weed's like free.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
kind of is.
It's
Yeah.
like whatever. Somebody's got some.
There was an amazing moment
I
on
have some right now.
60 Minutes was talking about this the other day. They said that in California, the weed crops, there's such a surplus that these major farms can't sell it in their dispensaries quickly enough.
Really?
Because the growth of the marijuana has outpaced the proliferation of the marijuana stores.
Okay.
And a lot of the counties in California, it's tough for the marijuana dispensaries to break through the red tape to establish a storefront. So what ends up happening is you get these crazy illegal grow operations that are unsanctioned and, using chemicals and all that. And then you get hundreds and hundreds of 18-wheeler trucks driving to the East Coast to then sell this incredible weed
Right.
on the street where it's still illegal and fetches a far higher price.
Right.
But just to say, all out there in Humboldt County and all through California, except for places like LA, there is so much extra weed that really it should be free.
It should be free.
Yeah.
I think you should get some when you like sign up for healthcare or whatever.
Yeah.
Or when you like register to vote. Hey, have some weed. You're
Do
doing
you-
great.
That's crazy.
My question is, do you think that marijuana has acted as a good stand-in and a way of mitigating your alcohol reliance?
I 100% think so. Yes, I believe in marijuana management. I always have. What was I gonna say?
Marijuana
Rich
management,
Rich Voss would disagree with me. Shout out to Rich. He thinks, and a lot of like the really strict like AA people are like, you can't have anything. When you show up to an AA meeting, they say something before the meeting even starts, where they're like, if you've had any mood elevators, is what they call it, then you're not allowed to share. And the whole point of AA, or the thing that most people get out of it, is the group therapy experience. Like, you want to be able to share and talk about your stuff, get it off your chest. So I disagree with that, whatever philosophy. Because I used to like to get stoned to go to AA. Everybody was hilarious. It's like super fun. I'm like, I'm not drinking. Hello.
Best
I
way to
am
meet
hungry. I'm just at the
celebrities.
snack table the whole time. What?
This
Sorry.
is the best way to meet celebrities is AA
Yep.
in LA. It's a great
Really?
networking tool.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it does. I mean, I'm not gonna call somebody a fat faggot because I'm a little hot. Like, I'm a little stoned. Like, I
Right.
just have never made a decision. I've never made a mistake on pot. And
Did-
if I had, I don't regret it.
Would you say that when you stopped drinking, your marijuana intake increased?
Sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
Although
So-
I smoked plenty of weed. I would just come home and smoke weed when I was hammered anyway. That was always the nightcap, right? That's
Right.
how we go to sleep.
Well, I guess that's good. I don't know. As long as it's just that, though, right?
Yeah.
Is that your thought?
Yeah, because, I've done like coke and like other drugs before when I've been sober, like not drinking, and it's just a nightmare. It's a living nightmare.
Why?
You're just like, what are we gonna do? Is this fun?
Just bugging out.
I feel everything.
You like don't know what fun is anymore.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm hot, I'm cold. Is this fun? I party.
What about like mind altering, like tripping drugs?
Yeah, those
Do you
are
do
great.
those?
My only problem with those, one time I did
Mushrooms?
too many mushrooms. Like, I almost died. My tongue got really swollen. I like couldn't breathe.
How much did you take?
I don't know. That's
It's a
the problem
bad
with
trip.
being an addict, I think, too, though. I just like was eating
Pop
too
'em.
many.
Hmm.
I think I was like literally hungry too. I was like, these are just freeze dried mushrooms,
Snacks.
aren't they? Fucking done.
Giulio, you like the mushrooms, right?
I mean, theoretically, yeah. I'm not against the idea of them in small doses.
So I have a little collection of the microdose capsules, but I've never taken them. I've never taken mushrooms.
No,
I'm a little scared.
I think you'd enjoy it.
you'd be fine.
I worry that it will unlock some sort of banshee in my brain
It could.
that will start bouncing around and telling me to do things like fly,
The problem is that the banshee will tell you
commandeer a
things.
plane.
Dude, the banshee will tell you true things about your life that you can't unthink. That's the problem
Yeah.
with boomers. They'll show you shit that you can't, that's true.
I don't know that I need truth.
Right? I say that sometimes too. It's like,
Need
I don't want to learn,
encouragement.
dude.
Yeah, I'm happy being like not even having really good eyesight, just like blissfully dumb and a little blind.
Yeah.
Well, dude, if you're happy with the way you're living your life, if you take a little bit, it'll just reinforce that and you'll feel really good about yourself.
I
You'll
don't
have a
know
great
if
time.
I'm that happy. I texted you yesterday. I said, let's go play ping pong. I'm down.
Oh, is that what you meant?
Did you not read that? Because you wrote back like, nah, fuck you. And I was like, damn, bro,
wait a
I'm
minute.
vulnerable
Oh my
right
God,
now.
dude, I'm sorry. I thought you meant, yo, I'm down. Not, I'm down.
I love this. This is funny. So I texted Giulio, hey man, let's go play ping pong. I need to get out of the house or something.
Right.
I'm kind of down right now.
Yeah.
Or I'm down.
Yeah.
Maybe I wrote I'm down, feeling kind of down. And that I would be saying to my own proposal that I'm down for what I just pitched.
It's pretty hilarious.
Dude, I'm so sorry,
No,
man.
it's okay. It's
Dude,
okay.
I'm here for you, man.
I know. That's why I
You
thought it
can
was.
absolutely text me anytime you're feeling bad, and I will not shame you. I'm that kind of pal.
Wait, going
know,
back.
I
I'm
know.
so sorry, dude.
It's okay.
I feel so bad.
You
It's
were like,
okay.
hey, fuck you. About
No, he
ping
didn't
pong?
say
No,
that.
I was like, today's kind of busy, dude.
Yeah, he was like, well, I'm actually talking to Judah about it, so why don't the three of us go?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, dude. We can have a one-on-one ping pong.
No,
session.
it's okay.
That's so funny. Hey, I'm feeling kind of down. Oh, cool. Fuck you. I'm busy.
Yeah, find another time for us to work
Oh
this
my
out.
God. Yeah, I thought you were like, I'm kind of down, dude.
No.
I was like, oh hell yeah, dude, I'm down too.
I had a low day yesterday. It was a low energy day. Low
Sorry,
low
bro.
feeling like, man, what do I have on the horizon? I'm not seeing land. I'm not seeing other ships. I'm just seeing a barren seascape as far as the eye can see,
But
and I'm
then-
alone on this
But
vessel.
then tomorrow you'll get a bunch of emails and it'll all feel different. I was really down because the New York
100%.
Comedy Festival was like happening and being announced and promoted, and I was like barely a part of it. And then all of a sudden I got like 4 emails about 4 different shows. So just keep your head in the game.
Yeah,
It's great.
yeah. It's amazing.
Way to just brag, Kerryn. Follow me on Instagram.
Wow, man, I'm really sorry. I feel horrible.
No, that's okay. It's okay. I had a feeling you had not read what I had written,
Yeah,
and because I
that's
know
so
you to be a
funny.
very sensitive.
I would have
hearing
immediately
person.
called you
Yeah.
and be like, "What's up, dude?"
Yeah. Well, we've become very close.
No, I
We
see
lucked
you
out.
and Giulio are the very sensitive boys. I can see your souls have intertwined quite
Yes.
closely.
We-
I feel like I can see you guys just bareback boogie boarding together.
We should go boogie boarding. You know, a
Yeah,
wave that
dude.
just really keeps going. I like that. A long ride. And then we'll look back at each other and we'll be like, no one went forever. And maybe we'll compete. We'll be like, I went a little farther. And I'll be like, you kicked at the end. That'll we'll do next summer. We'll do that.
Just for sport.
Boogie boarding buddies. Great. Boogie Board Mountain. Can't wait.
Well, we've had an absolutely fantastic time with you, Kerryn.
Oh, yeah,
we do
this was
short
great.
episodes. So
Good.
where can we find
Hungry.
you? Yeah.
What? Yes, follow me on Instagram at Kerryn Feehan, KerrynFeehan, and Twitter at KFreehams. That's the trick that people into following me. And that's it. Yeah, come to the stand.
She's
Hell
there. As always, Giulio, where can we find you?
Come check out Fat Baby in the New York Comedy Festival on November 9th at midnight. It's gonna be a great time. Come through.
Also at Not Julio on
Thank you,
Instagram.
Francis.
And you should come see me. I'm headlining Gotham Comedy Club for the weekend of November 22nd and 23rd. Get your tickets at francisellis.com. Thanks so much,
Yeah,
guys.
Francis. That's
Thank you,
great.
guys.
Woo!